4, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fearlessness isn't a single action, but it's a lifestyle. So let's freaking go.
Captain Midnight.
Department's Criminal Division is looking into a weekend incident in which someone suddenly interrupted a home box office movie on cable. It may have been a sophisticated prank, but as ABC's Bill Blakemore reports, nobody is laughing.
32 minutes past midnight Sunday morning, HBO viewers east of the Mississippi suddenly had their movie, The Falcon and the Snowman, interrupted with this silent message printed over color bars. Good evening, HBO, from Captain Midnight. $12.95 a month? No way. Showtime movie channel, beware. An objection to the price HBO is charging dish owners for access to its recently scrambled programs. The signal got weaker, then, after 4 minutes, the movie resumed. Spokesmen at the HBO Broadcast Center in Long Island are not saying how they got control of their signal back from the intruder, who may never be caught. Someone with access to a large satellite transmission dish, probably in or near the contiguous United States, but untraceable in so large an area, had simply aimed at the appropriate satellite and, using HBO's published frequency, transmitted with more power than HBO, which overrode and replaced the HBO signal. HBO executives decided not to comment in front of news cameras because they don't want to project this as only an HBO problem. They say this is a relatively minor case of a new type of electronic jamming which could threaten several sectors of our society.
This is a problem involving vulnerability on the part of anyone who uses satellites for any kind of communication.
That includes banks with their financial transactions, telephone users, and the commercial TV networks with entertainment and news shows. The Federal Communications Commission is worried.
We take it very seriously. We would prosecute with whatever resources we have.
In a recent HBO movie, intruders broke in on a U.S. president to make a zany sales pitch. That movie was a comedy, but in the wrong hands, this new form of jamming would be no laughing matter. Bill Blakemore, ABC News, New York.
Channel still trying to figure out how a hacker interfered with Saturday night's showing of The Falcon and the Snowman. Tim Fleischer shows us how Captain Midnight left his mark on late-night HBO viewers.
Wait, don't adjust your television set. This is what you are supposed to see. But it was not what was supposed to be part of a movie being shown by Home Box Office early Sunday morning. The movie starts to fade, and in its place, this 5-line message. Good evening, HBO, from Captain Midnight. $12.95 a month? No way. Showtime movie channel, beware. Captain Midnight apparently turns out to be the Blackbeard of satellite pirates. Normally, a televised signal is first transmitted by HBO to one of a number of satellites above the Earth. From the satellite, the signal is then beamed down to various customers, mostly individual cable companies. Early Sunday morning, someone apparently knew how to transmit a signal to the same satellite, and that much stronger signal was able to overpower the one from HBO.
Of all the pay cable services, HBO was the first to scramble their satellite transmissions to prevent those that had satellite dishes from receiving the service free. Now, others are expected to follow. Showtime and the Movie Channel are scheduled to scramble their signals next month.
And today, in light of the satellite interruption, HBO is apparently adding other measures. Corporate Vice President David Pritchard only saying, "We are taking several measures to secure our signal."
But HBO officials are quick to point out this apparent satellite jamming problem does not stop here. It could affect other operations.
It's not so much they are playing a game with HBO, said one company official. Somebody has interfered with a satellite transmission, and it could happen to other broadcasters. John Serafin is in charge of licensing the various satellites used by Capital Cities ABC.
In any technology, it's been my experience that somebody will figure out how to eventually beat the system. But it would take a lot of expertise for somebody to intentionally do this.
The concern over satellite interference has prompted the Federal Communications Commission to issue warnings to what he calls abusers of satellite uplink systems. This comes about, says one FCC public notice, because those in the industry were, quote, concerned about specific instances of satellite interference. Now that there has been one more instance, the FCC is hoping to come down harder against the abusers. Reporting from Manhattan, Tim Fleischer, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
In fact, the FCC has legislation pending right now before Congress that calls for stiffer penalties for people found guilty of this kind of satellite.
Happened this weekend, and federal investigators are looking for the culprit who apparently had a gripe against HBO. Gloria Rojas has the latest.
When HBO scrambled its signal in January and required monthly payments, the company didn't envision that someone would use their signal to lodge a protest. That's what happened early Sunday as The Falcon and the Snowman was being broadcast. A raid that wasn't in the script appeared on the screen, a consumer protest of HBO's fees. Professor Thomas Stern of Columbia University's Center for Telecommunications Research says when the original satellites went up, companies worried about being cost-effective and didn't use preventive devices. The military, however, worried about intrusions, did so, and so they're secure.
Military communication systems are designed to be very secure and very interference-proof. From the day one, each side in various military conflicts has been trying to eavesdrop and trying to interfere with other people's communications. So.
Experts say yesterday's intrusion probably involved a stronger signal. Think of the satellite as a football player, a movie star, or even yourself. You accept the biggest offer. Federal authorities are investigating, but can the satellite poacher be traced?
Somebody that's done something like this probably sooner or later will let people know about it because he feels like a hero.
In these classrooms at Columbia University are the geniuses who are getting their masters and doctorates in telecommunications. They're the people who will research and develop tomorrow's technology. And how do they respond to the pirating? Playfully.
I was pleased to hear it. I like the idea of someone being able to make use of the complicated machinery that's in place in order to transmit all these complicated communication signals and use it to their own advantage, find some quirk in order to play on it.
Anyone who is pretty familiar with satellite systems and HBO probably wouldn't have had that hard of a time to do it.
Why would anybody do it? Is it a challenge?
It's sort of fun.
Gloria Rojas, News 4, New York.
Well, Home Box Office says it does not suspect its competitors, saying anybody who values its broadcasting license would not do that.